Hey, and welcome back to Power of the Programmer. In this section, we're going to be covering PDB. So if you're following along, in the previous section, we covered debugging with print statements as well as conditionals. In this section, we'll be covering PDB. So to recap, print statements are kind of like micromanagement, and conditionals are like setting benchmarks. If you're in sales, print statements are like the micromanagement of like going over individual parts of the sales funnel. Conditionals are saying like benchmarks, saying if you need to get 10 leads by the end of the day, you need to get 50 sales by the end of the month. If you're in development and manufacturing, then print statements are kind of like the micromanagement of every project, whereas conditionals are like saying benchmarks or deadlines, saying that this project needs to be done by the end of the month, etc. If you're in creative, it's like micromanagement as well. And then the conditionals are kind of like benchmarks, saying that we need to get this much footage by the end of the day. Setting like a shot list and stuff like that, making sure all your shots are captured properly. So PDB is kind of like a fine-tooth comb. It's like if you are in sales, you're missing 20% of your sales at this crucial step. So let's figure out exactly what's happening at that step and fix that issue. Manufacturing, 30% of your products are wrong at this point. So let's go in there and fix that issue. And just like sit down with the person and checking out exactly why 30% of the products aren't being manufactured correctly. And if you're in creative, it's like you aren't getting the shot properly or you aren't recording it properly. So let's go in and see exactly what's happening at this point. Maybe it's the camera movement, maybe it's the audio recording, etc., etc. So PDB is like a fine-tooth comb, checking over your work, making sure that everything is aligning properly to make this result right and your code a success. So if you're following along, we are in section 5 in the learning examples on the website, and the file is called PDBB. The reason for the funky name is because if we use PDB, then the program actually has trouble importing the library. Remember, importing is just using somebody else's finished product and using that in our code. So PDB is a built-in library. It's very powerful. It stands for Python Debugger. So let's go ahead and check out the code. Same deal as before. There are several issues in this code, 5, we are going to be going over the issues and in this section, and we're going to be working together to figure them out. So let's go ahead and show you the Python debugger. So let's run. So what I did was I imported PDB at the top of the main statement, and I call it PDB set trace, which basically means let's stop this program here and figure this out. So we run it, and we can see that we stopped with open sales data. I'll put these side by side so you can see it. My Mac is not wanting to cooperate. So right here, so you can see with open, we can list the program so we can see every line by line. And then there are 2 commands that are noteworthy, the S, which stands for step, and the N, which stands for next. So the difference between these two is the next will basically go to the next line even if it's a function call. This is good for macro debugging, whereas the step is good for micro debugging, going into functions and understanding what's going on in that function to make sure that it is working properly. So same deal as before, we should always run this to make sure that it even runs. So we need to take out the PDB set trace and run it one more time. So same deal as before, let's run it against working or correct.txt and run it against pdb.txt, and we can see that we have a lot of issues. So it's much less than before, but now there are no big patterns, so we know we're going to have to run through this like with a fine-tooth comb. So to start out, it looks like that our California some of our Californias aren't working. So it looks like some of them are not existent, some of them are existent, but not for the other ones. So there's something really weird about our California. So let's go here and run import PDB, PDB set trace, and we can actually, since we're going to be using PDB a lot, we can just go ahead and import it at the top, so we won't have to write import PDB over and over again. So let's run this, and first we can see the issue is the California is misspelled, but let's go ahead and make sure that that's the issue. So California, this should go in, this is state I is California. So what I did is I ran a command in the Python debugger, which is for the state, which will run the command like a normal piece of code. So let's step. So this should set the state I to California. So now I skipped over to Ohio. Let's print the state I is not being set properly. So that means that this is the issue. Let's change it to California and then comment this out, run it one more time, and see that we're getting a lot closer. The California is fixed majority of the issues. So now let's move on to the next issue. So it looks like our seconds are still broken. So let's go ahead and look into the function. So let's import pdb.setTrace, and we're in the function find average times between states. So now we're going through the deltas again, and I'm just nexting through this. So let's print out what the deltas are. So you can see that we have the same issue as last time. So we can go ahead and add the +1 and see what happens. So let's change this. What if we set deltas I equals to date I and I +1 plus minus date I. So let's run deltas one more time. It looks like it's being set properly now. So this was our issue. Let's exit out. It looks like our code is almost there. It looks like our code is done. So you can sort of see how PDB is very useful. It's very quick. It's very good for debugging, and we fix all these issues in 1/3 of the time. So PDB is a great tool to learn. It is fantastic. It will speed up your work 10x. So PDB is great. I recommend learning it. It's a small investment. It might seem complicated, but the more you use it, the more you realize, like, wow, this is a really powerful tool. I personally always jump straight to PDB unless I know the issue is so minuscule that it doesn't make sense to do that, especially when working on more complicated programs, talking between remote servers, such as if you're building a web application. Since we have extra time, I'll demonstrate. This is a web application that I have been working on. And this is hosted on Heroku. Actually, never mind. So I recommend learning it. And in the next section, we're going to be and I recommend learning it. So in the next section, we're going to be concluding. This concludes our debugging section. And in the next section, we're going to be looking at advanced libraries, covering some libraries such as Instaloader, which I will give a brief run through. And that will show you how to build an Instagram automation bot. I will also cover some other libraries such as Flask, which is used for web applications, and Gunicorn, as well as some other programs that might be useful for you just to sort of show what is possible with Python. And with that, this concludes the debugging section. Let's move on to the next section, libraries.